Just give me one moment, counsel. All right. We're back on the record in 2024 CR 4089 State versus James Brandyburg. Parties reannounced, please.
Raymond Saldana for the state.
Adrian Bettis for the defendant.
All right, where we left off, defense had entered defense exhibits 1 and 2. Counsel, are you asking for this to be a part of the record or?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then defendants exhibits 1 and 2 is admitted without objection. Any other witnesses from either party?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state you're opposed to the defendant's application and you're asking for 3 years in the prison?
We are, Judge.
All right, you may proceed, state.
Mainly, Your Honor, we have extended probation to the defendant in 2016 for this very charge, a violation of a sex offender. Violation of a sex offender registration. He was given probation for 4 years in 2017. Then in May of 2018, he picks up another violation of a sex offender registration, which is what triggers an MTR, and the case, his probation gets revoked. He gets sentenced for 2 years in ADC. And then here we are again in 2024 with a new violation of a sex offender with a previous conviction offense. We just don't believe that probation is something that Mr. Brandyburg is going to successfully complete. We did take into consideration the mitigating circumstances, which defense will argue, which is why I offered a capital 3 in this case. So we asked the judge, the court sentence him to 3 years and denies application for both deferred and community supervision.
All right, defense.
Judge, I'm asking that you place him on community supervision. It's very important to Mr. Brandyburg that he have structure. It's very important to him that he's able to prove to himself that he can complete probation. As the court knows from the defense exhibits that have been admitted, he does suffer from PTSD, anxiety, depression. He's had a lot of problems in his past. And because of those problems, he spent a good deal of his most recent life being homeless. And when you are homeless, it's difficult to comply with registration and with probation. But he tells me that he is in a position to do it. And he states, moreover, he was in compliance, but not putting any blame on the people that he was registering to, but he would be in compliance, but not on strict compliance. And the people that he was reporting to were letting a lot of tardiness slide. And he understands now that there is no accommodation for tardiness. If he's given another shot to do this, he needs to stay on top of his registration and on top of his probation. And I think that he can. We have discussed perhaps him going to Haven for Hope until he could get on his feet. He tells me that he's done that in the past before successfully, where he was able to afford his own apartment for a period of time. He's had a series of bad circumstances, but I don't believe him to be a bad person. I believe him committing this offense multiple times because of his homelessness and because of his lack of plan. And he has a plan now, and he's asking that you give him a shot on probation. If you don't, judge, then I'd ask for the minimum. Thank you.
All right. Well, in reading defense exhibits 1 and 2, and also reading the stipulations, it says that he has a wife. And I'm making assumptions, and if my assumption is incorrect, please let me know. It appears that he lives with his wife. That's what that's within the stipulation. He speaks to his wife, and his wife asks him how he's doing. So if that's not the case, then be sure to let the court know.
No, ma'am, that was a sexual relationship that I was in. And the reason I actually had the second violation because that relationship ended. and my residence, who was actually with that individual after their relationship ended, actually ended my residency, and that's what led to me not being able to register.
All right, so, and then in the stipulations, he last reported in November. And they were giving him some leeway because he was homeless. All he had to do was show up and report again. And this offense is in January, so they gave him 2 months, even though he was was required to report every 30 days.
I thought it was the annual reporting, and I actually went and turned myself in when I seen I had the warrant at 9th Street. I went and turned myself in, Your Honor.
Okay.
I wish I had a better explanation, Judge, other than he was homeless, doing the best that he can. And he did, in fact, also, Judge, I do think that it's important to remember that he did, in fact, eventually register. Yes, he registered late, but he was not trying to evade any registration requirements. And also, as he said, when he found out he had a warrant for this, he did turn himself in.
Right, and turned myself.
But I don't understand. No, stop amening what your attorney is saying. What I don't understand is, you know, you're supposed to report whether you're homeless or not. I'm assuming you have money for a bus, or at least if you had to walk, you would have made it there by December. If you had to, your last report date was November 28th. You needed to report in 30 days. If you would have started walking, you would have been there before January. So I don't understand why he's not reporting when he's been to prison. You're asking a hard ask, your attorney is asking a hard ask for the court to give you probation when you've been on probation before for not registering. And then while you're on probation for not registering, you pick up another failure to register, which is why they revoked you. And now you're back again for not registering.
I wish I had a better explanation for you, Judge, but those are the facts, and we're asking for leniency.
So if I can speak, Your Honor.
Sure. You want to raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
James Ray Brandenburg Jr.
Yes, what would you like to say?
I just, I was depending on other people to get things done. And now it's just me that I have to depend on.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
What other people are you depending on to make sure you're registered?
Well, that's the one I was in a relationship with for 6 years. And
But
it
is
wasn't
she,
serious to her.
but here's the thing though. Is she the one who needs to register? No. So I still don't understand why you're not following through. You're in your 40s, you're not 18 or 19. If he were 18 or 19, I could understand. Oh, I'm dependent on my mom to drop me here or drop me there. But at some point, it's all on you. Anything else from either side?
No.
No, Your Honor.
All right. I just don't think probation is a good fit for you. And mainly because you were placed on probation previously for failure to register. And while you were on probation for that failure to register, there is a motion to revoke file. I think it was denied. Then you pick up another failure to register. And then you get revoked. And now you're back here as an adult man in your 40s saying you depend on other people to register you. And you reported to them November, and they told you you need to be back in December. And obviously they gave you some leeway because maybe you told them you were homeless or whatever. And then you still didn't report until January.
That's when they explained to me, if I do it annual, I have up to 30 days before and 30 days after. I didn't know that if I was doing it monthly, it wasn't the 30 days before, the 30 days after. It's actually 3 days.
No, here's the thing. When you go in to report, and people, please correct me if I'm wrong. When you go in to register, just say, I'm here to register. They give you the next date that you're supposed to come in and report. Am I wrong? Or did they just say, good luck to you, we'll see you whenever we see you?
No, it's
They-
a blue slip.
They give you a piece of paper and say, this is the next day you're to report. So are you telling me that they didn't give you a blue slip telling you when the next time you were to report?
Yes, ma'am, but it's 30, I thought it was 30 days before, 30 days after, just like the annual registration is.
No, but here's the thing. They put a specific date on there for when you're to report. Am I wrong? Oh, am I wrong or no?
No, they do
Okay.
put crazy.
So I don't think probation is good for you. And I'm telling you right now, I'm taking in consideration that he's homeless. I'm taking in consideration of what I've read in Defense Exhibits 1 and Defense Exhibit 2. So I'm gonna find you guilty. I'm gonna sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. And I saw that his violation that he has, there was some mention about him getting parole on that, or he thinks he's about to get parole on that. That was in one of the defense exhibits. So is there something that he has that he's getting paroled on?
No, that was for a previous, those records are a bit old.
They paroled me actually last time I went down.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. You know you must register, right? When you are released from prison on parole, you need to head directly, whether they tell you or not, you need to go directly to where you're supposed to register and get a card from them asking them, what's the next date you need to register? You understand? And this whole thing with you, with somebody giving you leeway or being a little bit lax, you can't be a little bit lax. You know why? Because you're looking at prison. And you're going to get to a point, I don't know about your history, whether you're already at that point, but you can end up being filed on as a habitual. And then your minimum will be 25 years in the prison. So what you need to do while you're at the prison, and I'll recommend therapeutic community because I know there's some mental health going on as well.
Thank you.
If there is an issue, you need to talk to them about it and you need to come up with a plan. I saw in Defense Exhibits 1 and 2, where at some point in time, somebody had a plan for you and you said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something else. You need to get a plan from the prison. How are you going to get housing? How are you going to do all of these things? Because you have to register, there are many places that will not let you stay there. So you're going to have to really look around, or either you're going to have to end up leasing a house or renting a house or something, because usually apartment complexes will not let you stay. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. Okay.